If you want a high five, you have to touch the frog. Frog five.
Frog five, okay.
Yeah, so
frog five.
No, we're like both. We're both like that way. We're both technically like touching, but we're not touching at the same time.
There you go. We can shake hands, like shake the frog.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to this edition of On the Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. That's Kyle. Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm on day 2 of not being at work at the moment. I'm just trying to...
Same. Day 3, technically, because I was off Friday. Because, we are in the midst of a global pandemic, which you can't say every day, but we're persevering on, and On the Couch Talking Sports is persevering on, and we are doing our part with social distancing. Yep. We're keeping a good distance away from each other. We're actually on 2 couches right now.
That's the temporary name. It's temporarily going to be called On 2 Couches Talking Sports. I'm just kidding.
But, it's interesting because obviously all the sports leagues have pretty much shut down right now, because of the virus, and just not a whole lot to talk about. Well, we thought there was not a whole lot to talk about, but today everything kind of got flipped on its head because Tom Brady, the GOAT, the legendary, now former, I can't believe I'm saying that, former quarterback of the New England Patriots, announced today that he is leaving the Patriots. He is not re-signing. As many of you may know, Tom Brady was a free agent after this past season and has decided to take his talents elsewhere. The latest rumor is that he is going to be signing tomorrow or later this week with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're all kind of starting to digest and sort of take in the fact that number 12 will not be roaming the sidelines at Gillette next year. And so what we wanted to do, it's funny because we actually had another thought for this episode, but it kind of all got scrapped within, a 12-hour period. What we wanted to do is we just want to
We'll save it for next time.
Yeah, of course. We'll leave you all in suspense.
We're not gonna
what we wanted to do tonight is we wanted to sort of pay tribute to Tom Brady, for the 20 years that he spent, in Foxborough, and
also do a little reacting to the news.
That too.
Stuff that we, as well as the audience, have to say about the whole switch and everything.
We just want to make this a Tom Brady themed episode and sort of talk about some of the good times, and obviously reflect now that he will no longer be playing for the Patriots. So, Kyle, let's start right there. Like you were saying, I know, just give us your reaction when you found out the news.
Well, I honestly was a bit surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I thought because he only was gonna play for another. I know his personal goal. I remember as we talked about before, it was like what you said, 45.
45, yeah.
And he's
going to be 43 in August.
Oh, he's gonna be 43. Okay, so he would have. So he's potentially looking at maybe 2 more seasons. I thought because of that he would have just kept on with the Patriots, but I was surprised that he just made the switch because, I'm amazed that actually. I know he's a really great quarterback and everything, but I was also surprised that a team picked him up right away. I wasn't sure how hesitant the teams would be, just kind of knowing that he wouldn't be with them for a super long time. So.
True. Good point. Yeah. I was stunned, to be honest with you. It's funny because I kind of got to the point where I just wanted a decision, either way. But in the back of my mind, I kind of held out hope that he would come back, and all these rumors and stuff like that would just be lead to him coming back here to finish his career at the Patriots. So I think it just it didn't catch me by surprise in some regards, but in some other regards it kind of caught me by surprise. I'm not gonna lie. Just the fact that he's been here for 20 years and just everything that he's done. It's like all of a sudden it's it's done. It's the end of an era, and it's. Yeah, I think it's still not quite sinking in. I think it's going to take a while for it to fully sink in, but obviously we wish him nothing but the best. Tampa Bay.
No ill will against Tom Brady. So
I'm going to continue to root for him, even though he's on Tampa Bay now. But it's tough, and I think what you have to do, kind of in situations like this, is sort of be thankful that it happened. We have become very spoiled as Boston sports fans to have had, among all the four major sports, the success that we've had over the past 2 decades. And I think in a situation like this, you just have to sort of be thankful and grateful that you had that run that you did.
There you go.
Because there were a lot of great moments with Tom Brady for the last 20 years.
Yeah, so many moments.
The very first season that he started, the snowball game and beating the Rams to win the Super Bowl, and
taking over from Drew Bledsoe's original spot.
Taking over for Bledsoe, and just that run to the back-to-back Super Bowl wins against the Eagles and Panthers to 28-3. Coming back from 28-3 down against the Falcons, to even the 18-1 season, just the magic that was that year when he broke all sorts of touchdown pass records, to even, what would end up being his final Super Bowl victory in New England, defeating the Rams. How fitting that his first and last Super Bowl wins in New England were against the Rams, as it turned out. And
it is interesting.
it's... and it's interesting because obviously, you would like to see them go further this year in what turned out to be his last year at the team, but also it still is really kind of fitting how his last game in a Patriots uniform was at Gillette Stadium. I'm not going to lie. If you're going to go out, why not do so on your home turf? So, and, I think there's just so many memories that you could point to with him. I know, Kyle, I kind of want to throw it over to you here. I know you watch football, I know, but you may not, you don't pay as close attention to it, I know, as I do. We're just being honest here. But what are some of your, when you think back to Tom Brady's career here in New England, what sort of thoughts and memories sort of come into your mind when you think about that? Sort of think back.
Well, I honestly enjoyed watching him live. I don't really go often to many live Patriots games, but my family and I, if you guys don't know already, I've talked about this in a couple previous episodes, and where my family and I like to go at least once usually the beginning of the winter, so like once every December, kind of like towards the holidays.
I know, it's kind of funny how you guys go and it's cold.
We do.
Coldest?
We just kind of, because it's usually a lot of people have off then usually, so we're able to kind of converge and get our epic family get-togethers and stuff like that. And and we'd always be excited to see the Patriots and Tom Brady just killing it on the field and everything. And it's going to be different, if considering if football is still able to be played next year. I'm looking to hopefully go to another Pats game with my family, and it's going to be a little different with that Tom there. It's going to be a different season. Even when it comes to I think fantasy, it's going to be different in that regard as well. Because
if you draft Brady, you're going to be drafting him for a completely different team. That is going to be really weird to sort of look at that computer screen and see, a TB. Oh, it's kind of funny.
TB for TB.
I'm not even joking. That thought just hit me that second. Is that TV is going to TV? If the rumors are true, TV is going to TV. I'm not joking with you folks. I'm going to look you dead in the eyes for this camera and tell you that was the first time I had that thought since this news was announced. Anyway, it's gonna be really weird. It's weird because even the bad memories like Deflategate, Obviously, when he got suspended, just the way he came back from that, and again, like, sort of went on a run and guided us to a Super Bowl, like, even that, I mean, was just so impressive. And, it's...
He really brought the team up, I thought. I thought he and Belichick
He made people better. He made, like, his teammates better. Like, guys you wouldn't, like, have otherwise known. Like, he just turned them into superstars. Like, Deion Branch, David Givens, like, all these guys. Even, like, two lesser, like, Danny Amendola, Wes Welker. I mean, these guys were good, but when they came to the Patriots, like, I feel like he kind of really brought them to another level.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, definitely. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how next season plays out. Yeah, it's you're right, like you said, it's the end of a legacy. It's we'll see where the Patriots go forward, and I guess I'm sure we'll be hearing now that they don't have an official quarterback. I'm sure they'll either promote someone or they'll try to find a new quarterback. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna play out too. So
yeah, I mean it's interesting because now you wonder, will the Patriots go and get somebody in free agency, or will they stick with Jarrett Stidham, who's their current first quarterback? A lot is definitely to be decided. I mean, free agency officially doesn't start until tomorrow, so we still have a little ways to go, and it is going to be interesting. I guess that's sort of the other question I want to ask Kyle is, now that Brady's gone, what will this Patriots team look like next year? And, sort of how far can they go? Obviously, Bill Belichick is still here, and, he's been a mastermind of these runs as well. But I guess the question is, the questions that have to be asked, can this team still win the division? Can this team still make the playoffs? A lot of that is, sort of predicated on who they do end up going with and sort of things like that. You just never know. But what are your thoughts?
Well, I'd say absolutely. I think they do have the potential. I think Belichick is still a fantastic coach. I still think they have a lot of really strong players in the team. They still have White. They still have Edelman. I think at least unless those guys decide to retire or White's too young.
They're not yet. Edelman's still under contract for I think at least 2 more years. So, although I will say, unfortunately, they did sort of a lesser, not really under the radar, but I know yesterday Kyle Van Noy, who is a big part of the defense for this team for several years now, he's going to sign with Miami in free agency. Okay. So, unfortunately, one of their key defensive pieces is also leaving as well. So, it just, I guess we kind of have to wait and see. You never like to say, like, they're never going to win a Super Bowl again for, a decade, or, or they're going to be fine. You just don't know. You just really don't know until, we start playing football. It's going to be...
Until you see the...
It's going to be much more interesting to watch it unpredictable. I feel like it's going to be much more unpredictable to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're still going to...
a whole new quarterback in there. Like, that'll be a very interesting season.
But we're still going to tune in. We're Patriots fans to the core, and we're still going to watch, and... it's going to be interesting on Sundays. I'm sure it's kind of funny to think if you ever want to go to a Patriots game this season, may be your best chance to get tickets that are not $150 just to sit in the nosebleeds. You may actually get relatively good deals depending on how they do. So
that's a good point.
We'll have to wait and see on that one. But just sort of final thoughts on Brady leaving and just sort of the road going forward for the Patriots. Any final thoughts there?
I mean, you're right. It's a big change after 20 years. That's a while. He's been on this team for, I feel like now, most of my life, which is kind of weird to think that. It's somebody. This was bound to happen no matter what. even if he was staying on the team,
he wasn't going to be around forever, folks. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, he
was going to retire someday,
Yeah, like we would have only had him for another season or two anyway, so it's like we were going to have this happen one way or another. So, yeah, I think it's at this point you just got to embrace the change. You just got to hope for the best for the Pats and just keep rooting for them. And, just keep your chin up.
And this is actually a perfect segue into Robbie's final thought, which actually sort of a two-part final thought. My first final thought is I just want to say to Tom Brady, thank you. Truly, on behalf of myself and, Patriots Nation, thank you for everything. I mean, you have been amazing to watch these last 20 years. You have brought so many memories and happiness to Patriots fans everywhere, and I know for me, watching the game, just watching the games and watching you play, it's been really special, and you're gonna be missed. Like I said, we'll still root for you, unless you're playing the Patriots, of course. But I just want to wish you nothing but the best, and you are the GOAT. Period. I don't care what anybody else says. You are the GOAT. No matter what. And the second thing I kind of want to say is that, in the grand scheme of things, this and, the NFL in general is really not that important. I hate to say that because, I love watching football and I love watching sports, but if these last couple months have taught us anything, is that there's so many more important things than sports. I mean, we have going on a global pandemic. I mean, people are getting sick and, tragically passing away. And, it's a really, really tough time we're living in right now. And I just want everybody to know that, we're here with you. If we can bring even just 20, 30 minutes of entertainment to you, one night a week or whatever, that's what we're going to do, and,
even if we got to Skype ourselves in, we'll find a way.
We're going to keep going strong. But I just want to say that obviously our thoughts and our prayers are with, people that are being directly affected by this. But, the old saying goes, the sun will come out tomorrow, and it will. And, we're going to get through this. Obviously right now it's a really tough time, and, it's so much uncertainty, and people don't know, how long is this going to last, blah, 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 blah. But we will get through this, folks. We've gone through things like this before, and we will get through this one. We'll get through it together. Everybody doing their part. I mean, even as much as we were kind of joking about earlier, I mean, even just this, we're together, but, we're just trying to keep our distance, and, trying to, stay in as much as possible, but, things will go back to normal, and we will be okay, and I think that's the big message, is that don't give up. Mm-hmm. As Jimmy Valvano once famously said, in a deep old reference, don't give up, don't ever give up, and we're not going to. We're gonna keep pushing forward, because that's what we do as Americans, as Bostonians, as people, as human beings. So, sorry, didn't mean to get so deep there, but I think it was worth being said at this time. So,
no, I agree. I think that's a good thing to bring up.
Yeah. Now, getting back to some lighter content for you folks, we actually kind of have a bit of a special edition of the Sue's Reviews tonight.
Yes, and I'm also going to have Robbie join me in this particular one.
Yeah, so. Kind of like, I'm not going to be staring at my phone or, sleeping during this one like I usually do, which, by the way, is sort of all part of the gag. I'm not actually bored to tears. No, Kyle, why don't you take it away for the Sue's Reviews tonight?
Okay, so on the Sue's Reviews, I want to talk about a couple of movies that actually Robbie and I saw just this past kind of weekend, and one of them we saw today, the other one we saw. Yeah, we actually just finished watching it. Yeah. Yeah, so one of them is actually very fresh on our minds. So,
by the way, I sorry to cut you off, but just a quick shout out to my family friend Tracy for these 2 recommendations.
Oh yeah.
Really appreciative of him recommending these 2 movies, which are sort of older movies, but still were worth the watch.
Still very good, actually. Yeah. So I guess so. We ended up watching the movies Blue Chips and Tin Cup. Sorry, I couldn't remember.
That's right. I was going to let you get there.
Yeah. I was like, I know this title.
I had a feeling you would realize it after a couple seconds.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do just for this particular session of the Sue's Reviews, I wanted to just talk about. I was going to start off with talking about Tin Cup with Robbie, and then Blue Chips, and then maybe figuring out, was there one that we liked better, one that or maybe there were just certain aspects of one that we liked a lot. Just to kind of go over it. We're not going to like harshly criticize these movies. We're not going to be like, the script was it. Robbie, I guess Robbie will. So yeah.
I'm going to lay down the hammer.
All right, there you go. Yes.
I didn't actually have a hammer, but you know.
We have a frog, so it's fine. See, Robbie has a frog. So.
I'm going to. Sorry.
So. I just want to kind of just kind of a general like overview review, just kind of like what we. So all right, anyways, you guys know what we're doing. So I want to start with the movie Tin Cup, which starred Kevin Costner, Rene Russo, and Don Johnson, who was essentially the villain. So. Yeah, he was like the mean golfer. Like he wasn't really like an actual bad dude. He didn't really do technically like horrible things, but he was just very mean. He was the antagonist. He was the antagonist. He was mean to the main characters. Yeah. So Kevin Costner was playing this kind of down on his luck kind of golfer who lived in like a trailer park, and then he was kind of discovered by people around him and they recognized that he was actually a very good golfer, but he just never really gone out there. He never really went to any tournaments or anything. So he was able to try out and then actually get into the was it the PGA?
U.S. Open.
The U.S. Open. Yeah. Okay, I'm really bad with all these tournament names. But
sorry, I probably would be not much better.
But yeah, this one was definitely more of like a I would say definitely more of a comedy with a couple dramatic beats here and there. But I'd say overall,
raunchy. It was kind of like a raunchy, like sporty, romantic kind of comedy.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
It kind of had all those like elements to it. I felt like.
Yes, definitely. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Happy Gilmore in certain ways. Like, right? Like a little less like because obviously Happy Gilmore is still its own thing. It's still Adam Sandler. It has that Adam Sandler touch, but this one is definitely more of a. It had Kevin Costner and Cheech Marin was also he played his friend in the movie, and Cheech Marin was kind of more of the comedic relief. So I thought that was. What did you think of it overall?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I thought that like. Kevin Costner, sort of played off that, again, down on his luck golfer really well. And, I think, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I thought, sort of the drama, sort of the build up to the end and the drama of it all. And all that was quite good. It was quite good. Sort of kept you on your toes, sort of trying to figure out what was going to happen. And,
yes, definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
just seeing the
it was
golf
interesting. Rene Russo, sort of interesting. Also, like Rene Russo, I think did a really good job as sort of that the love interest / therapist / just everything. And also, it's kind of interesting. Like, Kevin Costner's ex-girlfriend is like a stripper, and she ends up buying like the course from him or whatever that he owns. Just all these like sorry, spoiler alert, but it definitely packed the comedic punch, and I enjoyed it personally. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it felt more of an unconventional sports movie, and I really liked it for that. And the comedy was really kind of special because there was just like. there were just moments in the movie that it really the comedy also kind of played a little bit with the drama, because there were certain moments that you didn't exactly know how they were going to played out, but they actually ended up being played out kind of more differently than you would think. I'm not going to spoil which moments were like that, but it was just kind of nice to see that, like that style of movie, So
yeah. I like I said, I definitely would recommend it to people.
Same
give it the 2 thumbs up. I thought it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to now. So we're gonna move on to Blue Chips now, and I'm gonna start with you. What did you think of Blue Chips?
Oh, Blue Chips! Wow. Where do I start? So for those who don't know, Blue Chips is about a college basketball coach who, I think this movie came in like the mid '90s.
I think like early '90s, because it was definitely before.
So it's about this college basketball coach. It's kind of down on his luck. It's interesting. Both of these movies are kind of about guys that are down on their luck, and he's had a couple of tough seasons, and his program is kind of
both used to losing.
Not doing too well, and he goes out recruiting and ends up recruiting these like 3 amazing players. One is played by Penny Hardaway, former NBA star, and another one is played by Shaquille O'Neal,
also former
NBA star. And basically, it's sort of about this internal and external struggle that he has to, sort of these other programs are, sort of blurring the lines and sort of crossing the lines to get these recruits, and does he take that road, or does he sort of take the high road, and what happens? He kind of gets into bed with this sort of sleazy sort of booster, and just it sort of all transpires from there, and sort of really climaxes in quite a memorable. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. Definitely climaxes in a big sort of just eruption, so to speak. I'll put it that way. But no, I thought it was really good. Again, sort of one of those movies that really keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, I agree. I think the drama really played more into this movie, especially when you compare it to Tin Cup. Tin Cup was definitely more comedy than drama.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie, I think, it had funny moments. But especially kind of at the beginning when they were setting things up.
I'm not, again, no spoilers, but Shaq did have a really kind of comedic relief moment towards the end of the movie.
Yeah. No, just throughout the movie, I thought he was a good comedic relief.
But one moment in particular, if you people watch it,
I know exactly
you'll get it. But yeah.
But it really takes like basketball. It really looks at basketball from a different angle. And that's what I really liked about this movie was it was just so interesting. Even, honestly, I'd even recommend this movie, even if you're not a sports fan. I don't watch basketball very often myself. I've played basketball when I was a kid, and I've watched some, growing up.
You've coached it.
I'm a coach, yeah. So, okay, so I guess I'm a little more, I know a little more. But even if you haven't watched or played basketball, I still would recommend it because I think it really looks at it in a very interesting angle, and I don't want to spoil too much, like Robbie was saying, but I think the way the story kind of unfolds, especially from the middle to the end, was like whoa, like you think it's going a certain way, but then
it just was.
Yeah, then other things kind of happen. And you're like, oh, okay, all right.
Hello.
Yeah. So it really takes kind of like a realistic look, and the movie, interesting fact, was directed by William Friedkin. Now, which I didn't realize until I started watching it, and I'm like, William Friedkin? You mean? And so I don't know if you guys recognize the name or not. He directed The Exorcist. That horror movie from the 70s. That really the one that a lot of people consider like one of the best horror movies of all time. Yeah, that William Friedkin. He directed Blue Chips, which I was like, huh. So I guess he's not. I kind of appreciate that because I also saw this other movie that he made, Killer Joe, and that movie wasn't anything like these two movies. So I'm just like, this guy, he doesn't really have a specific genre, and I'm really starting to appreciate him a lot more because of that. So, So yeah, if you ever get the chance, Blue Chips. I think personally one of the best Nick Nolte performances of his career. I think it was easily hands down one of the best. So
yeah, I really liked it. So again, double thumbs up for me here. Yeah, and so I guess to kind of like wrap it up, which I think you were kind of gonna ask or
so
you go ahead. It's your segment.
No worries. So that's right. So to wrap up this segment, like I mentioned before, I was gonna go over kind of see which movie we end up liking better.
Yeah.
And even if we don't have a specific answer, that's fine. We can just kind of say which aspects we liked of each movie or whatever. So
I have a definitive answer. I definitely like Blue Chips better.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I liked both movies. I would recommend both movies, but just in terms of like the drama and the excitement, and the like sort of edge of your seatness of it, I think I'd have to go with Blue Chips.
I agree. Yeah, I think Blue Chips, as good as Tin Cup was a really, really good movie. But I think Blue Chips. If I had to do like a face-off between these movies, if I had to pick one I'd see again, then yeah, Blue Chips. I'd throw in my chips for Blue Chips.
It's a hole in one. Okay, oh wait, that's the reference. It's a slam dunk. Yeah.
There you go. Yep, we got it.
All right, so.
So yeah, that about wraps up for the Sue's reviews. Do you have anything else you want to?
No, I think we covered it all nicely. Thank you, Kyle. Cool. I'm glad that I was able to be part of this one.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right, so that's going to do it for this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. Thank you, everybody, as always, for joining us, and stay strong out there. And
stay
as
safe.
Always, he's Kyle. I'm Robbie. And the frog's over there, and we'll see you next time on iCast Talking Sports. Bye, everybody!